Welcome to the Sim Podcast. I'm your co-host Eric, and I'm always joined by my co-host Ron. What up, Ron?
What's going on?
You know what we do? We talk about the National Football League on a weekly basis, including the playoffs. Ron, this is episode 146. We are officially in the divisional rounds, but I'm just going to skip the intros and just get to the NFL news. And we know we're doing the show on Wednesday, but Tuesday, they dropped the bomb. But let me ask you, I'm going back 72 hours now because we watched the Sunday games together. We saw the Bills win. We saw the Patriots win. All the Steelers had to do was win.
Do their part.
Yeah. So take me to that ride from Sunday night.
Oh, man, it was tough. It was difficult having to wait from Sunday all the way to Monday for the Steelers to play. I thought about taking that day off, took Tuesday off because I thought some stuff would happen on Tuesday, and it sure did. But, when it's the game, nervous as heck, as I've ever been for any game because, the whole noise about 9 straight years without a playoff win and the matchup with the Texans and how good they are. And, a lot of people starting to change their minds about Pittsburgh and say, they're a team. Texans are a team that they can beat, so starting to feel like a little bit of confidence in the game.
We both picked Pittsburgh to win.
Yeah. So, and then, some folks in the national media started to pick Pittsburgh to begin. So to win. So, going from that excitement, that nervousness to watching the game and just being flat out disappointed and angry, definitely after the loss, the way the game went, to furious, and wanting Tomlin, to leave, and then seeing the news that he was stepping down, celebrating, being happy, that change was finally here, and the Steelers are turning the page, if you will, or he decided to move on because it's it was in his best interest for his family and stuff. And so going from being angry and all that stuff to happy and excited, and now just almost depressed, man.
In the dark,
depressed. Not because of there's a bunch of unknowns. That part's a little bit exciting, to be honest with you, but just to think that this time next year, or the start of the season next year, you'll be looking at on the sidelines, your camera will be panning over to the Steelers sidelines, and you won't see Tomlin there. I think reality is starting to sink in now. And it's, when I think about what we're losing with him leaving, it's sad. It just is. I don't know what, how else to put it.
Do you think that this should have happened a long time ago, or this was just the perfect exit?
So from a performance standpoint, I think the noise has been loud for a couple of years now, and to go 9 straight seasons without winning is just too long to win a playoff game. When it comes to the Steelers standard. Having said that, in terms of timing, I think this makes absolutely the best time because the draft is in Pittsburgh. I don't think I talked about this. You would have wanted to show up at the draft and have people just booing the Steelers or having fire Tomlin signs and chants out there because they're still just a few months removed from this loss and they're still angry about it. I think that would have been a bad look to see that being broadcasted all over NFL Network, ESPN, and everything else. So, and then we also, I think, obviously there's going to be, the idea of us looking for a quarterback for the future in next year's draft. It just makes sense in terms of where the team is. It makes sense for him to walk away at this point for us to start anew.
To be honest with you, I think that this should happen 5 years ago. Having that consecutive, because I think so. I was watching TV, obviously watching the football, and some guy was going over the Steelers' playoffs loss, and it was he totaled it up, and it was like
blowouts.
169 points to 26.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's not just about making the playoffs or not making the playoffs. It's not just about losing. It's these last few playoffs games, we've been blown out.
There was some goose eggs in there.
Yeah, blown out. And and you can attribute some of that to like not having a franchise quarterback and, and Ben not being, himself his last couple of years or whatever. But at the same time, as a head coach, you need to make sure your team is prepared. It's good that you get in the playoffs, but once you're there, you got to show up. Everyone has to show up. You can't be embarrassed on national TV. And the last few years has been an embarrassment. The way we've performed, even this last game, which I know we'll talk about, was it was an embarrassment from an offensive standpoint for sure, and that just cannot happen.
Well, I'm happy that the Steelers are finally going in another direction, because it's the epitome of like stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result.
Yeah, but at the same time, the reason I say this one kind of hurts and it stings a bit is because of all the great things Tomlin has done for the city of Pittsburgh. He's well loved. He's you see all the tributes coming in from current players, former players, current coaches, former coaches that have worked with him. He's done so much for the league. And when I think about him and I compare him to like Bill, for example, Bill, it was different, right? I think he got on everyone's nerves. Everyone was like happy to see him leave. Here, the outpouring of support for Tomlin has just been incredible. And that it goes to show you, it was never about like Tomlin as the person or a leadership or how he handled himself off the field or anything like that. He, like Rooney said today, represented the Steelers in the last 19 years exactly how they wanted to be represented. And, it's just unfortunate that he just can get over the hump, because this is what all fans wanted, right? Fans didn't want to see him leave. Yes, we wanted to see him leave, but we wanted to see him succeed and to get over the hump. That's what we really wanted, right? How many times this year have I said, all will be forgiven if you win one playoff game? I've said that all year long.
But you've been saying that the year before and the year before and the year before. I'm telling you, 10 years, not corporate talk. 10 years. Even Bill Walsh said this. 10 years and you got to move on.
Yeah.
Theo Epstein said the same thing with the Red Sox. 10 years, you just got to move on.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes, he was part of the community and they loved him. But bottom line is you weren't winning. Yeah.
You start to wear out your welcome a little bit. And then, if you keep this, the standard can't be lowered to say, okay, this is acceptable. The standard is winning, getting to Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls. That has always been the standard. And we've fallen short of that. And he's admitted it. It's not like he denied it or anything like that. And like I said, every fan, there's few fans that hate Tomlin. I think most fans love him as a person, and they wanted to see him succeed, but they lost faith that he could do that, that he can get the team over the hump, whether it's from the coaching personnel, the coaching decisions he makes on the field, the player personnel. Fans had lost faith that he can do that. We wanted to see him win, but he just couldn't do it. So it sucks that we've had to turn the page. And he's Rudy said that it was totally Tomlin's decision. He was prepared to bring him back, for next season. But Tomlin, by the end of the year, you can tell he was tired, man. He was tired. I've never seen him this exhausted. I think from having to answer questions. He put everything into it, and coaching is a hard job. And I'm sure he had to think about himself and his family and everything else, all the stuff he hasn't been able to do in the last 19 years. And so he's decided to move on.
Listen, and I don't often quote movies, but Batman, there's a line in the movie. I don't know if it's Batman Returns or Batman Forever, where Alfred the butler, he says, listen, you become a hero, you live long enough to be the villain. And happened to Bill Belichick, happened to Mike Tomlin. if you stay there long enough, people start disliking you. The expectation starts changing. And listen, all exits are bad no matter what, because you don't want good things to end. But I'm telling you, man, you overstay your welcome, or like you said, now he resigned. So even if somebody wants to talk to Tomlin, he already said he's not going to coach next year, but even if a team is interested, they got to trade for him.
Yeah. So we still own his rights. The Steelers own his rights. So I think it's not only the 2026 season, but the 2027 season, even though his contract would have ended. Like if he wanted to go coach for another team, which I assume at some point he's going to want to go back to coaching. Pittsburgh would own his rights and still be able to collect something back in return as far as compensation. So, that's the good part of it, but it's going to be difficult when we get to that point too, right? To see him on another team, that's going to be hard to see for sure. So, at this point, it is.
And I think, to be honest, I mean to interrupt you, but I don't think he's going to have an issue getting another job.
No.
And I've always said that other teams are just going to drool.
Oh, absolutely.
At the fact of having him. But,
yeah.
So jumping off that bandwagon, now there's 9 openings for head coach in the NFL. And we talked about it right before we started recording. The Giants, Raiders, Ravens, Titans, Cardinals, Dolphins, Falcons, Browns, and Steelers all have openings. I don't know. I don't remember a time where we saw 9 teams.
Yeah, 9 is a lot.
I know the 5, maybe 6,
yeah.
Or not this number.
Yeah, 9's a lot.
And there might be more because...
Right. Yeah, you just don't know. One of these teams that are in the playoffs now, or teams, that have been out for a while, but coaches that are up in age, like Andy Reid.
Matt LaFleur. We don't know.
I think they were talking. I think I saw something about them wanting to extend LaFleur.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good thing for him. But what if Andy Reid, wakes up and say, "Well, Harbaugh's going. Tomlin is leaving. Maybe it's time for me." I know he's already thinking about it because at that age you got to think about it. But you just never know. And then these teams that are still there, I don't know. We'll see. Bills, I thought that coach, if he would have lost, there would have been some conversations about it. Maybe there still will be if he can't, get to the Super Bowl.
The Bills coach?
Yeah, the Bills coach.
Yeah.
McDermott.
Yeah. So let's talk about last week's wild card team, because
before we do that, and just to put the bow on these openings, is there one of these teams that you think is like, which of the, because I saw some stuff about like what are the best teams, what's the best opening, like any coach would want, and some, like the obvious answer to me would be Pittsburgh, just because you'd be able to go there and know that you have some sense of stability.
There's job security, but that doesn't mean they're gonna be wins are there, right? I think the best opening right now would be the Ravens, because they already have a QB.
Yeah, I guess
that's what you need. Look at Mike Vrabel. That was his number one request, was let there be an established QB wherever team I go.
Yeah, I think that's important, but I was just surprised. A lot of people, I saw some people saying, no, I don't want to go to Pittsburgh. And part of it, I think, is because no one wanted to follow in the footsteps of Mike Tomlin. No one wants to be that person.
Expectations when you follow them.
But Tomlin probably didn't want to. But people said that when Cowher left too. No one's going to want to follow the footsteps of Bill Cowher.
Yeah, but we already guessing that the Rooneys are going to hire somebody who's going to look at this job as a promotion. I think other head coaches are going to look at this job and be like, what are you going to offer me? I don't know. This is, and that's where it comes, like, if you're a youngin', like they already, they say that maybe the interviewed the LA, I think he's a wide receivers coach or something.
No, if you talk about the Rams coach, he's the passing game coordinator or something like that.
Yeah, so he's going to jump at the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's going to be a promotion. Even if he does terrible, he knows he's got job security and all that. So, yeah, But if you're like an established coach,
Like an NFL coach today?
yeah, like
You don't think any NFL coach today, if when you're on another team, you jump ship immediately to go to the Steelers?
we already talked about the fact that they need to upgrade the infrastructure. They need to that culture that was Tomlin with that's gone. You're gonna have to build a whole new one all over again.
I think some of it's gone. I think some of it has always been there. Going back to Noel, right? Chuck Noel. I think that part of it's always been there. I don't think that's ever going to change. I think Rooney and Arthur Smith understand that they're a certain type of coach that they want to bring in. And that's never going to go away. But I think any coach, even if they're employed today, would be foolish not to look at like the Steelers of like, I can move to Pittsburgh and guarantee that me and my family will be here and I won't have to move and pull my kid out of school or something like that. For like 10 years. I don't need to worry about that. Look over my shoulder.
It's a small market, job security.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want that, yes. Maybe you don't want, maybe you want money and you want a big market. It's all about what your preference is.
Yeah.
I would still like the Ravens because they have the QBs already there. But some of these other teams, they don't have an established QB on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the Giants with Dart, but that's, talk about a second-year quarterback. But no, the Browns, they don't have a QB. Steelers don't have a QB. Cardinals definitely don't have a QB. So, like, all these teams, maybe the Titans, if you, like, do a makeover with Con Ward, I don't see it.
Yeah, but I think that's I think that's almost like the excitement, too. The challenge of coming in as a coach is to put your own stamp on things.
You want to start behind the 8 ball? That's what you're saying?
It's not starting behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, because Steelers still not even in the top pick of drafts. They're in the 20, so.
Yeah, but I don't think so there's like normal functioning teams, and then there's the dysfunctional teams, like the Browns, or, the teams that have like gone through coaches left and right.
Browns, Raiders, Titans, those are all.
Any coach you get, you have to understand there's got to be a 1-year plan, a 2-year plan, 3-year plan. Like, if you got to show me how you're getting there, how you're getting the team better.
I can see a 3 to 5 year plan. These other teams don't have a 3 to 5 year plan.
Well, if you don't have the patience and you don't even have a quarterback, then that's more about the team than the coach to me.
That's the owner.
And that's more about the owner than anything else.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if, like, a lot of these candidates don't have head coaching experience. Harbaugh, of course, does. Saleh does, but then
Mike McCarthy, there were rumors about. Now he's not one of the people brought in yet, but I've seen his name floating out there.
I mean, Vance
Flores
was there, but
some.
Yeah, these are basically what I'm saying is these are all going to be promotions. The only one that's moving from head coach to the head coach is going to be Harbaugh. Maybe Vance, but he was there before, and then Sean Payton took over. So, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting offseason because there could be more teams that we don't know about. All right, let's go into the wild card weekend, and let's start with this game, which, full disclosure, I did not watch. It was the Rams versus Carolina. I think Carolina did all right for 8-9 team with the Rams coming in, but when you have an MVP candidate, yes, you can do a last minute touchdown and win the game.
Yeah, it was an exciting game. I think a lot of people expected the Rams just to go in there and blow them out, not realizing Carolina had won when they had played earlier in the season. And, Carolina has a lot of good pieces. They do a lot of things well. And they matched up really well against the Rams. And, you had Carolina winning. I had the Rams winning, but by a much closer margin. They barely pulled it off at the end. But I think that's saying more about Carolina than the Rams. I think Carolina just has a better team than people think. And they played on the back half of their schedule much better than any of the other NFC South teams.
Well, there was a graphic that they showed that they would win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and they just got to that winning streak by doing that. And I knew like, well, they lost against Tampa. Does that mean that this one should be a win? It could have been a win, but at the last second, Stafford came through. The other game that we want to talk about is a Saturday night game. This one I saw, and this one, it went back and forth. Well, not really, because the Packers dominated the first half.
Yeah, they did.
But, I mean, are you happy for Chicago fans?
Yes. So full disclosure, I was messaging everyone like, if the Steelers don't win and I'm moving on from Pittsburgh unless they fire Tomlin. I'm like, the Bears.
There was a lot of what ifs there.
Yeah.
if this happens, if that happens, if this happens.
I'm now a Bears. I'm waking up on Tuesday a Bears fan. That's basically the extent of my message over the weekend. And like to watch the Bears play and their quarterback, I just think he's outstanding. And, I think he just gets a lot of negative press. But I think he's going to be, he's not now, I'm not going to put him in this category yet, but he's going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL for a long time. Things that he does, only a small handful of other quarterbacks in the NFL can do. And, I'm just very impressed with the Bears, how quickly they've been able to turn things around, just like the Patriots. And, I think they're a team that may not necessarily make the Super Bowl. I still don't think they will get there, but I think they're a team that's definitely heading in the right direction.
I mean, if you look at the box score, you were like, oh, wow, Love had a better game. No picks, 4 touchdowns. Caleb Williams had 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, but the Chicago Bears scored 25 points in the fourth quarter. That's just like, and I think I saw one of the Packers players saying like, no, it wasn't the Bears, it was us. We fucked up.
No.
Basically, I was like, no, it was the Bear magic. I don't know if that's gonna continue, but I was just like impressed by the turnaround that they had. I mean, 3 points at halftime. That's
and you and my brother-in-law was saying, "Oh, Caleb Williams sucks," and that interception was terrible.
Whoa. I never said that.
Yes, you were. Yes, you did.
We can bring up the text. I never said that.
I'm like, that interception is not even his fault. The stupid receiver ran the wrong route, and that stuff happened or whatever. So
I was more upset with Ben Johnson and how aggressive he was.
That was beyond ridiculous.
Because I was like, you don't need to take so many risks.
I know.
You took a lot of risks in the first half.
Yeah, that's true. But again, like how many other quarterbacks can come back from being down 21 to 3 at half and pull your team back 20, even down at half or third quarter, excuse me.
Well, it wasn't just Williams. It was that Bears defense that all of a sudden they woke up. It was like, the first half, they weren't really playing. They didn't know what to do.
No one wanted to hit.
And then the second half, it was a completely different team. Like, I want to know what was said at halftime by Ben Johnson, or Dennis Allen, the coordinator, where they were like, listen, we're going to shut down Love, shut down this running game. They had, both teams had less than 99 yards, but Josh Jacobs really didn't do anything. He averaged 2.9 a carry. They just did their thing. I'm impressed by them, but you know, forget Green Bay. This week they have a real offense coming up.
Yeah.
The next game, and we watched this one Sunday, 1:00. It was the Bills at the Jaguars. This was a really, really good game.
All these games were good so far up to this point.
They were all good, but here you went for the Jaguars. I went for the Bills, and then it was a letdown by Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. We all thought this was going to be a really close game. I thought that, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know what I thought. I thought he got all that stuff out of him. And if they needed him to pull off a 2-minute drive to win the game, that he can do it. But I think once again, he showed that he's just, even throughout the game, to be honest with you, I was like, what are you doing with that throw? Like, he was making some poor decisions. He had some inaccurate throws. And
they were rushing well, 154 yards.
Yeah.
If they just did that the whole game, they would have won this game easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was necessarily the game plan, though. Your quarterback has to make plays. And when you're 18 for 30, that's not good enough in the playoff environment to win at the end of the day, right? So you knew Josh Allen would pull a Superman at some point. And that's what he did. Didn't matter if they weren't able to run the ball. You knew Josh Allen would find a way to pull his team, into a win. And
there were many times where we were like, all right, that's it for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He messed up his hand. He messed up his knee.
Got killed.
There was times where it looked like they were hurrying. He had the ball quickly.
Yeah.
But it was to somebody that was open.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to say. I feel, it's just, I'm sure they're disappointed because I think if they could have gotten past the Bills, they could have matched up pretty well with a lot of these other teams.
Yeah, they already beat Denver a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but, again, your quarterback has to play his best the entire game, and especially when it matters most, when it's inside like 2 minutes. You can't. It was his first throw, I believe, in that last drive. He threw an interception.
Right to the other team.
Just not a good throw. Not a good decision at all, because even if the guy catches it, the clock's running. You got no timeouts. He's not going anywhere. It just was not a good decision. And, it is what it is.
It is what it is. The next game, this is probably the upset of the weekend. The 49ers at Philadelphia Eagles. They ended up winning 23-19. They scored 13 points in the fourth quarter. You asked me yesterday if I think Nick Sirianni is better than Tomlin. I was like, no, Tomlin's still a better coach. You're like, well, but he has a Super Bowl win. So does Tomlin.
Yeah.
And look at what happened.
Multiple appearances too, both of them.
And it's going on his third offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So if you go on your third or fourth offensive coordinator, you're the issue, not the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Well,
so if they exit again,
same thing about Mike Tomlin. He's had a number of different offensive coordinators too. Some who should not have been in the NFL, like Matt Canada at all. He shouldn't have been doing any coaching in the NFL whatsoever. So,
but this is where their ownership that we're talking about. Philadelphia is not gonna sit around and be like, you know what? Let's give him another 5 years. He'll figure it out. No, if I will predict that if the Eagles exit again.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's gone.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you make the playoffs again or what. Because it's like the turbulence throughout the year. It's not just that you make the playoffs and you lose. It's like all this noise throughout the entire season of all the conflict, players.
AJ Brown,
it's
happy.
It's just ridiculous. It's just too much. Soap opera.
Yeah, it is a soap opera. And when I look at it, the Eagles were rushing 140 yards. They were rushing the ball.
Yeah.
But it was like as basic as like a high school offense.
And Purdy was up and down too himself. One drive he would look good. Next drive he's turning the ball over and stuff. He definitely did not have his best game either.
It was stuck at, I think, 10-13. And I was just like, what is going on with this game? Because, the 49ers, it was like they had so many injuries. It was unbelievable. And I was like, why isn't Philly just putting this team away already?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And everybody was complaining about, the refs. How about your team just shows up?
Yeah.
Because there was no call. I watched this game. There was no call where it was like, that was kind of fishy. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
You just got whooped. That's what comes down to. Let's talk about our teams, Ron. And let's talk about with the Sunday night game. Chargers at the Pats. Pats winning it 16-3. Not Drake May's best performance, but he pulled it out at the end. He fixed whatever fumbling issues he had. I know that interception was technically not his fault. It was tipped, but you know what happens when you tip in the middle of the field. But I want to talk about is how many times Herbert got hit in that game.
That was going to be that was going to be what eventually would kick the Chargers out. Like, they've been lucky and fortunate to get to 11-6 with all the injuries that they've had on their team. To be down all the offensive linemen that they've lost throughout the season, and then Omarion Hampton too, not being really able to suit up. I think he had one carry this game. Him not being at full health and not being able to play. That was the storyline. That was really it. Like, they manhandled the offensive line, and they got to Herbert almost on every single play. He had no time to throw whatsoever. And he got sacked, 6 times, it looks like. And they just could not get anything going offensively at all. It looked like almost as bad, probably just as bad as what Pittsburgh offense looked like. It just looked awful. I
mean, when you have a non-existent, when your quarterback is your leading rusher, you have an issue.
Yeah.
You have an issue.
But Drake May was the leading rusher for the Patriots, too.
Yeah, but 146 yards to 87. Yeah. I think we're okay with that. I'll live with the 66 yards. I'll live with the 268 passing yards. Not his best game, but also hey, this is first playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to work as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't. It was just can somebody score a touchdown so this game is over? Let's see what it could do.
Yeah, the Chargers were in it until they weren't at the very end, right? It's like it was a close game, but at no point, even when it was just 6-3 and then became 9-3, at no point did you feel confident or have any level of trust that the Chargers offense would be able to muster an offensive drive that can lead to a touchdown.
I think they went beyond the 50-yard line twice. Maybe, I don't know if, I don't have to look at the stats. I don't know if they will even win in the red zone. I know the Pats were 0 for 3 in the red zone, but 3 points, that means that you were in the red zone maybe once. You can tell from the very beginning that, Chargers don't have enough.
Yeah, and then, once when Gonzalez went out, too, I was like, okay, maybe they can get something downfield now that Gonzalez is out. He still had no time to throw, so it didn't really matter. Just did not have time at all to throw. I can guarantee you that they will be looking to fix that in the draft this year.
Oh, yeah, I think that the coach, the other Harbaugh, he knows what he's doing. Eventually... Yeah. He'll fix that.
Yeah.
Because, it was in the AFC West, it was them and Denver neck and neck to win that division.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Monday night's game, Ron. Let's talk about your team. It was the Texans at the Steelers. They won it 30-6. What do you have? This was a catapult Tomlin's retirement, basically.
Yeah. For real. This was a pretty close game at the beginning, right? And it wasn't until the fourth quarter that all hell broke loose. But it was just disappointing, to be down 7-6 at half, to come out in the third quarter and you still can't get anything going on offense. Your defense has been out there for majority of the game. They're playing extremely well, but you can't score points. You got to be able to score points. And, Arthur Smith had an awful game as a coordinator. He also might have secured, his coaching career by not, with this performance, because I'd be shocked if anyone wants to hire him as a head coach after this performance.
No, and I'm sure he'll interview. I don't know if he'll get hired.
Yeah, if they go back and just look at this game and be like, what the hell happened? And it's not to take anything away from the Texans defense. Their defense is ridiculous. They're super fast. They can all hit. Their corners hit. Their DBs hit. Everyone hits. And it was like they were in the huddle with the Steelers. They knew what play was coming. They knew, that we didn't have the athletes to match up with them. And the couple times we tried to take some shots to loosen up the defense a little bit, we missed it. Metcalf dropped a pass. We had one pass that, we missed with Calvin, and it was just a bad game. And then, again, we gave up 14 points too, on offense with turnovers, with the fumble touchdown and then the pick six to basically close the game out.
Not CJ Stroud best games at all.
No, we got to him.
He had 5 fumbles. 5 fumbles, 1 INT.
You know what this reminded me? It reminded me of the Steelers-Patriots game in Week 3, where the Steelers offense really did nothing, right? It was us getting to Drake May. I think we had 5 turnovers or, that game as well. And we did just enough to win the game. I think I was hoping that's what would happen in this game. But no, our turnovers and offense killed us.
Not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe regular season, yes, but not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So maybe that defense, that Texans defense is the number 1 defense in the playoffs. Maybe it goes them, Texans 1, Seattle 2, and Denver maybe 3. Because I feel like they just dominated. There was obviously there was a couple of sacks by them, 4 sacks overall. I'm really impressed by the Texans defense.
Yeah. But we knew they were going to be good. I said that they're good. Their secondary is really good too. And, it's just unfortunate we didn't have any answer. We've always started off slow. I thought, okay, this is not unusual, but maybe they'll come out and, and have some sort of adjustment. I think Steelers, if I'm not mistaken, actually led the NFL in points in the third quarter. That's where they do, all their work, but not this game at all. They didn't score at all.
No, but overall, very, very entertaining wild card weekend.
Yeah.
Let's move into our predictions round. Let's go into the divisional round. This is the top 8 teams, and we'll start with the Saturday games. Buffalo at Denver. Denver is favored by 1.5. 45.5 is the point spread. What's your prediction, Ron?
I am going to take Denver. This game's in Denver. The home field advantage will be a thing. I think Denver getting that week off, that week rest, is going to help them. I think Josh Allen, I'm sure he's still banged up, still recovering a little bit, but I'm sure he'll also be ready to go. But give me Denver to win this one in a close one, 27-24. I just think Denver's defense is too good, and I think Bo Nix will, play better. I don't know what else to say about him. He's almost a question mark too, like Trevor Lawrence. But I think they'll run the ball enough. And try to remove him from making any mistakes. And, I think Denver is going to pull it out.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think that Sean Payton is a good coach. He's not going to be like the Lincoln where there was some plays where we're like, why is Trevor Lawrence still throwing?
Yeah.
You got ATN, you got the other guy, just hand out the ball. I think Sean Payton is not going to let Bo Nix lose this game.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got them winning 28-26. But, once again, I think Josh Allen will put on the cape again.
Oh, yeah.
And
can completely see it.
Yeah, I can see it. So, but Denver is going to come on top. The Saturday night game, San Francisco at Seattle. Seattle's favored by 7.5. 44.5 is a point spread. Ron, who'd you go with?
I was shocked at the point spread. I did a double take when I saw this, and I had to go back and look to make sure it was right, and it is. And I imagine some of it has to do with Kittle being hurt and being out for the season with his it was an ACL. What was it? Achilles.
Achilles. Yep.
The last time these two played, it was a close game. I'm going to take Seattle to win this one, but I don't see a 7.5 point spread. Give me Seattle 24-20.
I looked at this spread too. I think it has to do with the fact that it looks like Purdy is up and down, right?
Yeah,
He has some good games and then he has some bad games. I think Seattle's going to make him have a bad game. I got Seattle winning 24-17. I think that they make that spread, and they're already talking about, oh, maybe Warner will be back for this game. Come on. You're that thing about like, oh, maybe because of the electric station that's next to them, they're getting hurt. I'm like, whatever it is, I just can't see Purdy being better than the Seattle defense. I just can't. But the question mark is, what Sam Darnold gonna do? Because
he's played well all year. He's avoided like dumb mistakes. He's made clutch throws when he's needed to. The receivers, they got a good complement of receivers there. Tight end's good running game. He would have to have a really bad game, to lose, I think. But again, the last time they played, it was really close, and that's because, Purdy played really well that game. So you just never know.
Yeah, we just never know. But I think Seattle is going to win that game. We'll skip the New England game and go to the Sunday night game. Los Angeles Rams at Chicago. Rams are favored by 3.5. 48.5 is the point spread. Ron, what's your prediction?
It's hard for me to go against Chicago because of my obsession with Caleb Williams. I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm taking Chicago to win this one in a super exciting, high-scoring matchup. Give me them, the Bears, 30-27. I can see Caleb, again, maybe starting off slow and getting hot at the end. This team's, I think, 7 comebacks, fourth quarter comebacks. I can completely see that happening again. I think whoever has the ball at the end wins this game.
So you have Chicago and Seattle in the NFC matchup.
Yep.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the MVP candidate, 28-24. I'm going to agree with your brother-in-law. You just can't turn it on and turn it off in the playoffs. You either play it a full 60 minutes or you do like the Packers do and just play a half. Basic what it comes down to. And I think that McVay is a much better coach than Matt LaFleur. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think there's going to be a lot of the Chicago Bears defense is going to be tested for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt,
for sure. But then again, it is going to be freezing cold. Like they already said that. You think last week was bad? This week it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's just the Chicago winters are terrible.
Yeah, they better find an answer for Nacua because it felt like Carolina had zero answers for him. It's like they never heard of Puka Nacua before, and they were just like leaving him wide open, and you just can't have that at all.
Yeah, so I got the Rams and Seattle in the NFC Championship. Let's go to the final game. Houston at New England. New England's favored by 3. 40.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you go with?
Yeah, I'm taking Houston. Let me start off with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud's not going to have a bad game like that again. I think, no one's giving the Steelers defense credit for forcing those turnovers and making him feel uncomfortable. There's not many teams that can do that to quarterbacks, and I've seen Pittsburgh do that often. I've seen some other teams, a handful of other teams do that to other quarterbacks. I don't think that's going to be the case with New England's defense. I think Stroud himself will play a lot better. Now, I don't think their offense necessarily is anything prolific, and I certainly think if Nico Collins doesn't play, that will be a huge loss for them for sure. Same as if Gonzalez doesn't play, that'll be a huge loss for the Patriots. But I'm taking Houston to win this one just because of their defense, mainly because of their defense. I got a 24-17 score. I think Drake May will be under a lot of pressure. I think like what Houston did to Rodgers, I think they'll be able to do that to Drake May. And I don't think May is going to be able to come out and say, you know what, I can't throw. Let me just run for 50 yards like I did last week. That's not going to happen. against the Texans. So give me Houston to win 24-17.
Okay, Houston is in a 10-game winning streak, right? But I'm gonna read to you the teams that they beat.
Here we go.
Here you go. Okay, you ready? You ready? The Colts, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Chiefs, the Colts again. The Bills have a good QB. The Titans, the Jaguars, and they lost against the Broncos. I don't know if you can compare, except for Josh Allen, any of these QBs to Drake May. And some tidbit that you didn't know, they are the worst team against running quarterbacks in the league. Yes, their defense is stout. The left side of the Patriots O-line is not good, to be honest with you. But I think that we have enough. I think this is going to be a defensive battle, but Drake May is going to put points on the board for the Patriots. So, having said that, I got them winning because I don't trust Stroud at all. I think that he's going to continue. He hasn't had a good year overall. All of a sudden, on the road, he's going to be great.
There's a difference between not having a good year and having a bad year. He didn't have a bad year. He's had an average.
Well, there was a couple of games he missed because he got injured.
Yeah, but
David Mills had to start.
I wouldn't say he had a bad year in terms of his performance, though.
Well, let's look at his numbers because I feel like he did not perform well this year. So I'm looking at his stats for team leads, right? All right. So let's pull that up. DJ Stroud. So he had 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks, and he had a 62 QBR. I don't know if that's a great season.
I never said great.
I didn't say that. That was definitely not his first year season.
Yeah, I didn't. No, absolutely not.
It was an average.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Average.
Yeah.
But that's not what he's expected of himself. That's not how we expected it. And he did terrible against Pittsburgh. I don't have confidence that he's going to all of a sudden be a superhero.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he needs to be, though. That's the thing I'm trying to say. If he can just be average, I think they'll win because I think their defense will provide them with opportunities, to score. So, as long as he doesn't make mistakes, which I don't think he will, I think they have a very good chance of winning.
Well, I got New England winning 21-17. And Gonzalez was at practice today. Probably means he's going to be clear to go. Can't say the same about Nico Williams. Nico Collins. So I got New England winning this game. And I got them facing Denver in Denver for the championship.
Yeah. It's funny. You talked about, I just want to say, you talk about who Houston played, the quarterbacks that they, can you run down the list of who the Patriots played for me real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Because we can run down the list.
Exciting defensive units, and
we can run this down, but that doesn't mean that
the Patriots play this season.
Drake May didn't have a MVP style year. So let's read.
Did he have an MVP style performance against the Steelers in Week 3?
Oh, that's how you're hanging your hat on?
I'm just
because they were 14 of 15.
How many
the rest of the race? They only lost one game.
How many great defenses has he faced? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, let's talk about defenses. So they only lost one game to the Bills.
That's not a great defense.
Dolphins.
Definitely not a great defense.
Jets.
Definitely not a great
Ravens.
defense. Definitely not a great defense.
Oh, wow.
You know the Ravens are not a good defense.
Giants.
Come on, man.
Bengals.
Come on. Okay.
Jets again. The Bucks.
No.
No?
Why do you think
Falcons?
Bowles fired his both his coaches, coordinators?
Todd Bowles still there. That's all that matters. Falcons?
No, not
Browns.
Better.
Browns?
The Browns be the Browns. Okay.
Listen, you can go back and be like, this teams were terrible. Doesn't matter. MVP style. That's all that matters.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Stroud did not have an MVP style season.
Not at all. I never said that. You didn't hear me say that.
Mm-hmm. You were all here defending him. No.
I'm not defending him. All I'm saying is these people, the media drives me insane when they do this. The Monday morning quarterback crap. Stroud had a bad game. He played terrible. Leave it at that. Don't say he's a bad quarterback and he always plays like this or anything. No, I'm not saying that that's what you're saying. I'm saying that's what the media is putting out there. Like, Stroud is going to like ruin their playoff chances and all this stuff. Like, give it a rest. He played a good defense. Give the Steelers some credit, a little bit of credit for forcing those turnovers, and realize like, hey, sometimes people have bad games. He's not going to most likely not going to repeat that bad of a point. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and throw for 300 yards against the Patriots. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying he's not going to have 5 turnovers. That's all I'm saying.
When I think about those, like, those big networks, NFL Network, ESPN, Fox, whatever, those people, I feel like half the time, like, they have somebody in the ear going, you're going to have to disagree with this point. And you can even see on the faces, they're like, oh man, I mean, this guy is a good player. You want me to like go against that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like some of the points, some of the counterpoints, they're not points at all.
Yeah.
They're just being like, oh, he wore his hair different, so therefore he's not a good QB. Yeah. No, this guy is a good QB. You just, for ratings, you have to be the opposite.
And I've seen them do this. It's not just a Stroud thing. They've done it. I've seen them do this with try to say Stafford because he might have had a game with 4 interceptions. Oh, Stafford's not good anymore. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, give it a rest. Give the other team some credit, and just say, hey, it's not likely for him to repeat that bad performance the next week. Now, it doesn't mean again that he's going to go out and just, put up 50 points on somebody, but I think he knows he needs to take care of the ball. He's going to make some adjustments and he'll be okay.
Yeah, but let's play devil's advocate. What if he comes out and has a terrible game?
Terrible as in turning the ball over?
He
Terrible?
did the exact same thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers game, except...
Then I would have some serious concerns about whether or not he can be my franchise quarterback if he does that.
Because he had two bad games in a row?
Back-to-back games in the playoffs. Yes, absolutely. I would start to have those concerns.
You would have like a 180 automatic, like, yeah, just give him a break. What? He lost? No way.
Didn't you hear me say give him a break? Did I use the words give me a break at all?
You say he's a bad QB, right?
I didn't. Did I say he's a bad QB?
You said the media said a bad QB.
That's what the media says.
If he loses his game, you're like, oh, he can't be the franchise quarterback anymore.
I said you need to start questioning whether he's the
but
franchise.
You came up with the idea.
I didn't say
you
I
had
have
the
an
idea.
Answer
you had the idea.
The franchise. I'm just saying.
All you need is the idea of questioning, having doubts.
Let me put it like this. This is a good example because Herbert, is he a good quarterback?
In the regular season.
Exactly. Now, when you have 3 playoff games in a row or 3 playoff years in a row where you're not performing well, don't you start to question, is this guy?
He also has had 3 different head coaches. I feel like there's no system in place. I'm not saying that Herbert, give him, he's a great quarterback. I'm just saying, let Harbaugh build the culture. Let's say well,
this is year 2 under Harbaugh, and last year with Harbaugh, he threw 4 or 5 interceptions that game. And then this year, and I'm not saying this year was even his fault. He had no protection whatsoever, but you start to develop a reputation. And once you get to 2-3 playoff, years in a row, then you're like, what?
Well, would you rather have Herbert or Lawrence?
I don't know. I think it's close. I think it's closer than you think.
Either one or the other. Don't say I don't know. That's skipping the question.
I think it's much closer than you think.
Okay, Herbert or Lawrence?
I'd probably take Herbert, but it's much closer than you think.
It is like hair close, but you still go with Herbert because at least you're going to have a good playoff placement at the end of the season. Herbert, he's just in a bad division, basically. But we know the Texans are going to make some noise. What do you have to say, Ron, to the Steelers fans out there?
I don't know what to say because you have like I said, most of the Steeler fan base are happy yet sad. It's bittersweet. And I would just say be respectful to Tomlin. Give him the grace that he deserves. He's done a lot for Pittsburgh. He is a Hall of Fame coach. He didn't win as many Super Bowls as we would have wanted. But just be respectful and appreciative of like all that he's done for Pittsburgh.
How old is Tomlin now?
56, I think, or 55, something like that.
So he has like a good 10, 15 years left.
If he wants to, yeah.
What if, because I'm trying to think like, does he come back to coaching, or does he just ride in the sun? Because he's gonna be indicted into the Hall of Fame after he does a 5 years thing, right? So does he come back and just coaches like, I don't know, college, high school? I don't know.
Well, I'll put it like this. I thought there's no way Bill Cowher would not
coach again.
Be back, and he has not. He did the TV thing. I think he enjoyed not having to like spend how many weeks, 20 weeks or whatever it is away from his family, and just spending every waking minute thinking about how to make his team better. It's a huge commitment being an NFL coach. And I think once Cowher got a taste of what, life is like, with putting football not on the back burner, but just not putting as much, of yourself into it, I think he realized, well, there's a lot more to life, a lot of things outside of football that I can enjoy. You never know if Tomlin's going to go through that now with his family too. He told Rooney it was like, wanting to spend some time missing a lot of things these 19 years with his family and his kids and all that. And he wanted to get back to doing that. So once he starts doing that, I'm not saying he's going to lose the love for coaching people, but you'll get a different perspective on life, and maybe your wants might change.
Yeah, I think that, I think he's made a lot of money. And like I say, his wife has so many businesses around Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, if he rides into the sunset, never coaches again, he had a great NFL career, right?
Yeah.
So I don't blame him at all. I wouldn't show up at the Pittsburgh draft.
Yeah.
I just let things simmer down some, right? Because it's going to be a lot of people that are still bitter about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have nothing but good things about Tomlin to say. Now, as far as the Patriots are concerned, there were people that were mad about like, oh, don't call this house money with the Patriots. Be like, have expectations. Not me. I still think that they're playing with house money. If they win this game, and for some reason Buffalo defeats Denver, whatever, this AFC Championship game is going to be at home. All bets are off.
I can imagine.
All bets are
how
off.
Annoying.
All bets are off.
You and everyone else.
Forget about Super Bowl party.
I can imagine
AFC party, because this is back to back. I mean, forget Mike Bravo. Forget Drake May. This is historic. Having won 4 games last season to hosting AFC Championship, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one for the ages. Even if your expectations are like, no, they should win this game, that's one for the ages.
Yeah.
I know they don't give trophies for that. Oh, I know they don't give any kind of like rings for that, but I will be impressed. I'll be really impressed. Talking about trophies, Ron, your trophy is ready. It's right behind me.
Awesome.
I'll give it to you. I already took a photo. I'll put it up for other people to see, but you beat me fair and square. You're the winner of the predictions for 2025. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations. next week we'll have episode 147, and we'll be talking about conference championship. That's a wow. And maybe like we said, maybe there's a few more people fired by then.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm like laughing about that, but it's just like
you're in shock. That's
this
all
is
it
just
is.
like the turmoil and what's going on is crazy. But until next week, I say peace.
Peace. All right, that's it, guys. That's the end of the show. Thanks so much for all your support and listening today. If you got any questions, comments, feedback, feel free to email us at simsportsmedia@gmail.com. That's SYMSPORTSMEDIA@gmail.com. Peace.
Sim Podcast Show.